Thank you so much. What a pleasure it is to be here, and I really mean that. I was just listening to Rick Santorum. What a guy. I've met him on several occasions. Among the reasons I like him, he wears cowboy boots like I do. One of the reasons I do is because great Americans wore cowboy boots. Some of my heroes, John Wayne, Ronald Reagan, but I want to correct Senator Santorum on something he said. He mentioned having about $22,000 to run a race, and he said you can hardly win a dog catcher's race with that much money. And I thought, if you have the NRA behind you, it's doable. What a pleasure it is to be here with you in Nashville, Tennessee for the National Rifle Association's annual meeting. We are, after all, fresh off of our defeat of Michael Bloomberg and his Second Amendment force the mayors against guns. Bloomberg tried to take me out with his wallet in my re-election as sheriff of Milwaukee County, and only because of your help was I able to kick him out of Dodge, so to speak, with his tail between his legs, leaving him still in search of a signature win to rally around. Together, you and I told him, not today, not here, nice try. And again, I want to thank you, because if not for your efforts and the help of the NRA, Michael Bloomberg probably prevails. I think I was strategically placed in the lineup here. Many of the people here today have political speeches. I don't have a political speech. But this is where I want to be, standing shoulder to shoulder with you, God-loving, freedom-loving patriots who support the United States Constitution, which includes the right to keep and bear arms. Or, as President Barack Obama calls us, bitter clingers. He says that when things don't go right, that we cling to our guns and our religion, to which I replied, damn right we do, Mr. President, and don't you forget it. And to the liberal media, who have become the propaganda wing of leftist politics, don't tell me that I can't say that about the president. Yes, I can. Yes, I did. And yes, I will probably do it again. Now, let me say this about being one of those bitter clingers. There is nothing else I would rather hold in my hand when fighting government tyranny than a Bible in my left hand that I used to swear to uphold the Constitution, and in my right hand, a Winchester rifle, a symbol of freedom and liberty in the United States of America. In fact, I propose that we change the Great Seal of the United States, you know, the one with the American bald eagle holding an olive branch in one claw and arrows in the other. We should take those arrows out of the eagle's claws and replace them with a semi-automatic rifle. Preferably one that shoots M855 ammunition. What do you think? There's a motion on the floor. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Now, I know that many of the speakers invited here today are running for something or they want something from you. Not all of them, but most. Me, on the other hand, I don't want anything from you. I came to give you my thanks because I'm not running for anything right now. That's to keep the left on their toes. In fact, I'm here simply wanting to be a foot soldier in the fight to beat back the anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment forces. These tyrants are well organized, well funded, and have a never say die attitude. We have to match that. In fact, we have to be doubly prepared to preserve our God-given right to keep and bear arms. That's why we're here for the next couple of days, to send a message to that anti-Second Amendment force that we too are well organized and we too will fight, as I like to say, with the ferociousness of a junkyard dog to preserve that which they have no right to take from us. To the American left, I hate to disappoint you, but you are not God, and that includes you, Michael Bloomberg. So how do we do this? What's the plan? First, we have to stay together, and we have to stay organized. Just because the Republicans control Congress, we shouldn't take a breather. The political class, unfortunately, has let us down before. Look at how some caved on the Religious Freedom Restoration Act in Indiana and Arizona. I was highly disappointed in that. I want to remind you, don't trust politicians, trust the National Rifle Association. And I have a question on this topic when it comes to Congress. The Constitutional Carry Reciprocity Act has been introduced that would allow anybody with a concealed carry license in one state to have that honored in any other state. Now think about this for a moment. A crook can commit a crime in one state, cross into another state, and all of his constitutional freedoms follow him, right? Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, 14th Amendment, and we want that. But I also want the same for you law-abiding folks. When you cross out of your state line, that your constitutional freedoms follow you as well, and that includes the Second Amendment to the Constitution. So I want to know, and I need your help on this, to keep the pressure on Congress to get this thing done. They started this new session in January. We're moving into April. How much longer? You and I finance the NRA because the NRA spends 24/7 attention to what is going on Capitol Hill and in state legislatures. You and I also know that the Second Amendment forces are sneaky and they work behind the scenes like they did trying to ban AR-15 ammunition. To protect our Second Amendment freedom costs money, big money. Keep in mind that Michael Bloomberg has committed $50 million of his personal wealth to kill off the Second Amendment. As for the bullet ban, the anti-gun frauds tried to slip it past us under their disingenuous effort to protect law enforcement officers. Let me say this. Last week, I met with Boston police officer John Moynihan at the rehab center in the Boston area that he'll spend some time trying to recover, and please keep him in your prayers for a speedy recovery. Officer Moynihan took a shot to the right cheek at point-blank range from a suspect armed with a .357 handgun. Any bullet can kill a law enforcement officer, not just an AR-15 round. I don't blame the gun. I blame the subhuman behavior of someone who would shoot another human being without legal justification. In closing, here's my challenge to you. Make a commitment to upgrade your NRA membership. Do it here. I know you're busy, human nature being what it is. As we go home, we get back into our routine in our lives, and it starts to slip away from us. Our best intentions start to slip away from us. So do it before you leave Nashville. I recently upgraded my own membership from a life membership to an endowment membership because I believe in putting my money where my mouth is. So do it while you're here, and when you go back home, get a new member to join. As I like to say at the end of all of my personal safety announcements back in Milwaukee, can I count on you? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for being in Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you again. I can't say it enough for your help, because without you, I'd probably not prevail against Michael Bloomberg. I don't have his kind of wealth, but I had the NRA behind me. And I remember a conversation I had with Chris Cox as my election approached, and we found out that Michael Bloomberg was getting involved in a sheriff's primary in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with 6 figures that I couldn't match. And I remember in that conversation that I had with Chris Cox, and he said, "Sheriff, we do not leave our friends behind." And he proved it. So again, thank you. God bless you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.